Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where Alaf and I have got everything under control, and we're ready to rock and roll. It's going to be a good day.
Are you going to get that window in your car fixed? Because it looks a bit windswept at the moment.
No. You know what? I had to go under a lot of bushes to get the Easter eggs and that. And It's been a really hard day. Nothing to do with wind. And
I don't know.
I think that this might be the new hairstyle of the future.
Someone said to me, your hair looks like Rod Stewart's. I think it's more, as I said, Martha Stewart. But
I actually like it. It makes me look quite young.
It looks like one of those Donald Trump bouffants. It suits you, James.
Well, it suits me. Well, that's what I like to hear. 3 to follow. I got all the Easter eggs. I might have had to climb under the bushes, but I got them. And let's go and have a look at what they look like.
In the Travers, Flower Alley is the winner.
His dad, Distorted Humor, he's probably one of his best sons at stud.
I'll have another, wins the Derby.
I'll have another in the Preakness.
Lilacs and Lace, 48-1, upset.
He's just a big, strong, leggy horse.
Right, well, let's go and have a look at what we got in 3 to follow, and we go to Turfentine. Big day on Saturday. Joey Somers stepped out a bomb. This horse had run second first time out. How did it get beaten first time out?
Got beaten by a very good horse, and it was a great race. Just the two of them, they were well. I think it was Mutamakin, I think, beat it.
Yeah.
And I listened to the humble hero, Joe, talking about it after the race, and how he said in his second or third year of training, he got a superstar in Special Preview. And since then, this is the closest he has ever had to Special Preview. And then you watch the race and you realize, whoa, could Special Preview have done this? This was impressive.
Let's go and have a look at him.
Yeah, here we go. Now he's drawn towards the outside. The ground is more than holding. I've spoken to a few jockeys about the track. It's been like that at Turfentine for the last few weeks. It really is. You need to be able to handle a cut in the ground. But Arthur Marcus gets us out in the famous Easter Silks, and it soon gets on the lead. There were a couple of horses who were tipped to beat it or found a tad asword, even though this horse was hot pot favourite. Someone were hoping that they could beat this horse.
Well, he's absolutely cantering here. Just in the picture on the right-hand side of your screen, sheepskin noseband, and he's going a half pace. The rest are starting to come off the bridle. He's by Trippy, this horse, out of an American mare on a grades mare, bred by Claverflay. And he just absolutely canters in. Just what
There's some really good Trippy horses coming through at the moment, and this would be leading the brigade for me. This was really impressive because Arthur's giving him a training toss. He's just letting him run down towards the 200, and he has probably about 3 or 4 lengths clear, I'm guessing. And at the 200 to the 150, he just shakes him up, James. And I think Arthur glances across, and when you look at the winning distance, wow, this horse won by a street. You could have probably added a few more lengths to it. This was super impressive, James.
Yeah, depressing to be the guys who are involved in the horses behind it, because he couldn't have won easier. We're going to go and have a look at Durban, the ill-fated Scottsville meeting, and we're going to have a look at the fillies race. They ran 1,200 metres. Watch this run of Michael Roberts's. His baby's in hot form. This looks like this can run a bit.
Also here we found a day where they'd had rain overnight, over the Friday night and the Saturday night they had a few mils. But here is a race where I think the ground does play some sort of effect. Your fancied runner here, Clever Kate's on the outside in the Neil Loudon Silks. And one of the horses going with, I think, a Simla is in the noseband. Now these two get clear, and if you look at the race running towards the halfway stage of this race, you think, wow, this race is between these two. They certainly get clear, but they come unstuck in the ground, and the race is won by Chestnut and Pearls. But the horse you found here, James, Durban Blues, runs a good race.
Yeah, I think the winner is probably a star. I really like this filly. She was a very nice filly at the sales, Chestnut and Pearls, horse Chestnut filly. But the second horse, look, gets completely lost here behind the front two. Chestnuts and Pearls gets the run right up the inside. Benji Johnson's colours, the white sleeves, red cap coming here, 4 off the left-hand side. And starting to run on, but Chestnuts and Pearls has the race won. Now
Yeah.
just gets a very tender ride from here.
Yeah.
She gets one smack.
Runs a good race.
And she really is running on well at the winner without ever really getting punished.
Funny enough, this winner, James, interesting story, this Chestnut and Pearls. I trained the two fillies before them, which were Crest of Pearls and Pearl Emblem, both very good. Now, Crest of Pearls, we had to retire with a knee problem. She had 2 knee surgeries. She was outstanding. We've kept her and she's in foal. So when we bought the next one, Pearl Emblem, outstanding filly too. She's very talented. And I went all the way out to this farm to have a look at this. They offered me the mother and Chestnut and Pearls. And I went all the way out because I wanted to pop in and see Herman Brown. I went out to their stud and had a look at this horse.
Nutfield, yeah.
Nutfield. And lovely stud, beautiful place to go and look at horses. And I was treated beautifully. And I looked at this horse and I thought, no, I don't like this horse because I've had the first two. I didn't like one of her knees. And I could have bought her there and then, and the mother. And I said, no, I'll pass on them. And she went on sale and she got way more than I could have got her for. Yeah. And I thought, good luck to them. And she stepped out and wanted a canter. Very nice filly.
She looks good, but the second filly is really well worth watching. If you watch that race closely, she never really got a blow in with the winner because she just looks like she'll come on a lot.
Yeah, she found a touch of support too from 8 to 1 to 6 to 1. Yeah, that's right.
Right, the next one we've got is from Wilgersdrift for the National Yearling Sales. Remember, the National Yearling Sales middle of April.
22nd, 23rd, 24th.
Yeah, for lot 431. Tiger Ridge filly.
Yeah.
Tiger Ridge colt, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a colt. Now this is by out of that mare Tanover. Now Tanover is by Model Man, as you know, very good broodmare sire, as was his father Eliodor. But this has found very good horses. When you look at Sunscreen, Tan Can, these horses contested Group 1 races. They won a lot of races themselves. So this is a good family, and it's called Over Easy. That's how you like your eggs, James?
Yeah, absolutely. Very over easy. I like lots of things over easy.
And this is from the family of Ethereal Lady, very good Group 1 winning filly. Emma Ponda, remember Paul Dennison's horse? Emma Ponda, it's a very good family.
I think Raymond should put that picture back up because it was really, really stands over a lot of ground. This horse, he's got tremendous range and length, and he'd be well worth having a good look at National Yearling Sales. You know, Tiger Ridge is coming to the end.
Yeah.
And
still throwing some decent ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Every year he throws a decent one. So
that's
have a close look at Over Easy, lot 431, National Yearling Sales. Don't miss them. We're starting to book to get up there for the big sale. And 3 days, it's going to be great fun. We're going to move on and have a look at the Blast from the Past, yet another offering from our mate Byron and his father put these together. And this is a very good race. I think Laff knows a lot about this race. Let's go and have a look at it.
Open. Soft Falling Rain pulling clear. Soft Falling Rain won the SA Nursery by 3.
Racing in the 2,000 guineas. Gates fly and they're racing in the Godolphin Mile.
They're off and racing.
Weight didn't matter. Class tells. Soft Falling Rain, much too good. Soft Falling Rain, an impressive guineas winner. Soft Falling Rain is drawing clear.
He's made it 7 out of 7 by winning here today.
But it's Soft Falling Rain who is powering away. We'll see out the mile in style. A high-class performer wins the Nay of Joel Stakes.
Right there now, and right on the outside, Flashy Song, Lady Lexington quite prominent. Shoe Shackers there, a length behind the leaders. To ban there, the grand old horses too behind them. Young Harvest is going to go through on the inside in the computer form now with 600 to go, and Tommy Hotspur got over. He got over to the outside rail now, and he's gone 2.5 lengths clear of Flashy Song in second. In behind that now, Just Do It Joey. Shoe Shackers tracking Tommy Hotspur, the pink sleeves in front there. In behind them is Saban now with 300 to go. How much left has Tommy Hotspur got now? He's the leader a length. Shoe Shack trying to put the pressure on Flashy Song. Saban's running on. Young Harvest on the inside. Tommy Hotspur 180 to go. Could be in trouble because Shoe Shack is getting him with every stride. Young Harvest down the inside. Tommy Hotspur and Shoe Shack. Young Harvest, but Shoe Shack gets to the front. And Shoe Shack is a great horse. He's beaten Tommy Hotspur in the computer.
Well,
No,
what a race. Do you remember that race?
I remember this race so clearly. I was up there for this race. I went up, Wixie and I were up there, I think for soccer or something. We went and we met Derek Martin.
Who would Wixie be, actually?
Dennis Wicks, footballer, pro footballer.
Well,
yeah, mate of mine.
There are a lot of people out there that would like to know that.
Okay. Dennis Wicks and I were up there. And we went racing at Gosforth Park. And we sat with Derek Martin. I remember we sat there. Derek was with Hunnelly.
What's his nickname, Derek Martin? King.
Yeah,
okay.
DK Martin King. And he said, all week, I remember Molly had been saying on air, come on, take on Shoe Shack. I mean, come on, take on Tommy Hotspur. They're great. And Max McConnell made me a T-shirt to go on the air with. Shoe Shack will beat Tommy Hotspur. And I wore it in one of my previews during the week. That's why I thought I had to be there. And Derek Martin was very confident. He bred the horse. Shoe Shack won the race with Dougie White on.
And Dougie White used to ride for the Alexanders, which was very interesting, very tight to the Alexander team.
Pia might have ridden Tommy Hotspur.
Tommy Hotspur, yeah.
And we went down and we were so excited. We came straight back to the pub. And next thing they announced for Derek Martin, please come down to get your trophy. King Goodwill's Villatini is handing out the trophies. So we had to put out.
So there were a lot of kings on the podium.
There were two kings, you know, on the podium, Zwellatini and Martin. Yeah. And it was, he was a very good horse, Shoe Shack. And I remember he lost the Sprint of the Year award to another horse. But behind him there was Taban.
Well, the horse that was interesting was probably the unlucky horse, was Ricky Maingard's horse, I think, Young Harvest, right on the inside.
Right on the inside,
you know, to win on the inside at Gosforth Park was impossible.
Yeah, so this was a superb win. And Shoe Shack, we'll never forget, that was the day we really had our chests out. And we'd been given such a good price, and we're walking around cock a hoop because we'd proven them wrong. And I'll never forget the T-shirt that I had. Molly, Shoe Shack's coming.
Can you wear that to the studio next week so we can see?
I'd have to. I might have washed my car with it a few weeks back, so I'd have to check, but I don't know if it's still there.
Okay, well, I know that T-shirt would never fit anyway, so thank God he washed it.
Why would you want to wear it?
Thank God he washed it.
Why would you want to wear it, James?
I did want to wear it, because you wouldn't wear it, so I wanted to wear it. But thank God he washed his car with it. And let's go and have a look at the plum of the week.
Fighter tries to get a bit closer. London Call now about to be attacked by Wallstone as they come inside the 300. London Call gives a response though with 250 to go. He's in front by a length and a half. He's the one to get to. Classy Fighter tries to come forward, but London Call still going. Great guns out here. London Call, you can ring up the register. He's 3 lengths clear and just glides across the turf. London Call. Classy Fighter second, Commodity Strike and Wallstone.
Well, that was the last race at Scottsville. There was no rain after that. But if you wanted to have a bet on Interbet, you could have got 15 to 10 at the beginning. He ended up starting odds on this horse, but he was always a very decent price on Interbet. He looked like an absolute blinder and certainly won like one. But it brings up a very interesting point. There was no rain after this race, and yet they cancelled the race meeting.
Yeah, they deemed it to be unsafe, you know. They had jockeys go down the track, and then they checked it out, and they said the straight, which was the outside. Then we still had one race to come, the Easter Handicap, which was around the inside track, which perennially is a softer area than the outside track. So they had lots of doubts, and there was confusion and discussions and time. It just took time to come up with a decision that they'd sort of called it off.
I want to throw a question at you. Why didn't we race down the outside of Scottsville? No one's raced there at all. They didn't. That going didn't look too bad to me.
You mean move the pens to the outside?
Yeah, move the pens to the outside and say to the jockeys,
someone said that to me yesterday.
There was a 6-horse field to come, and there
were 25 horses left.
Yeah,
that's all
to run.
And
it
they
just
said
makes no sense to me.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you get down the track, and I wasn't asked to go down the track. Neither was Tony Rivlin.
Why weren't you? You guys are on the.
There's a protocol in place, so myself and Tony Rivlin, part of our trainers board, has to go down. None of us were asked. But the chairman
surely that's in
that's
place.
That's breaking with the protocol, and it's got to be looked into immediately. It's completely wrong. Not that the people that took down didn't make the right call, but there's protocols in place.
Well, maybe they didn't make the right call.
Yeah.
It seems to be the general consensus of opinion was the wrong call was made. The rain stopped.
Yes.
Okay. Didn't rain after this race. At all. There wasn't one drop off.
You must remember the jockeys made the call on the going up the straight. There's no doubt about that. They went down the track and they felt, the jockeys felt.
But they looked on the inside. I could not understand why we never moved to the outside of the track. You know, it makes
it was unused sense. The outside of the track, correct? It was unused. So I don't know the final. But the final reason for them, this is my take on it, James, is that they said that the outside track and the sprinting track was the horses were slipping. So I have no further say on that matter, but your point on the outside fence is very
disappointing. All I can say is to all the owners and trainers who are trying to make a living out there, they couldn't have been very happy about it. Horses slipping, well, I think you can watch that 400 metre to finish all over again with a horse under pressure. I didn't see a horse miss a beat.
Very good horses, Plum of the Week. London Cool now won 3 or 4. Bakahal, Cole throws you these big horses. I bought the mother, Fancy Fantasy. I remember.
You've become a real bloodstock agent.
Not at all, not at all. Every now and then, it just happens to be my week. It happens to be my week.
Well, it was not only your week, it was Mark Dixon's weekend. Because I think he had a couple of winners. And
King Larson was over the moon with his horse. And this is a good one. I don't know how far it's going to go, but it won without taking a deep breath. First time on a soft track too. Could be very good, this horse.
Yeah, and certainly looked like a decent bet at odds against, and you could have got odds against with Interbet any time. We're going to have a look at what we've got in current affairs.
On the countdown then for this large field.
He's their sprinting champion there, and he's going to clash with ours.
They are ready.
Gates open.
And they're racing.
The gates are back and they're off to the roar of the crowd.
Gates fly and they're racing in the Godolphin Mile.
Iridescence rolls on for South African.
600 metres left to go and JPEG is the leader.
National Colour is the leader.
Gypsy's Warning, who is closing with every stride.
Victory Moon out in the clear.
National Currency in front.
Variety Club by 3 parts of a length. Shay delivering his charge.
London News, the pride of South Africa, goes to the lead.
Sun Classic gets a run through in the middle.
Iridescence in front.
Variety Club's going great guns inside the 100 metres. Vercingetorix gets away. Easy winner. JJ, he won't go away. JJ, the jet plane.
And London News, he's everything they said and he wins.
Lizard's Desire squares the lecture and gets there by a neck.
JPEG the outside. JPEG.
South Africa roar. Iridescence gets the winner.
National Colour, much too good.
Gypsy's Warning.
Shay wins the Elgo's sprint. Soft falling rain, an impressive Guineas winner.
Crimson Palace has won it.
But JPEG wins the cup.
Variety Club wins the Godolphin Mile. Second, Soft falling rain.
The 1-2 for South Africa.
No horse has run faster. He's made it 7 out of 7 by winning here today.
What a dominant performance.
We couldn't have written a better script. What a fantastic race.
A delighted South African contingent there, and it's a big night for them. They've done well here in the past, of course, but they use this meeting to showcase the talent that they have there, and they've got a treasure chest of it down there, that's for sure.
Louis the King is about 10 lengths off the leader, and Legislate now looking to do the work in front.
Fatura gets driven into the lead.
Louis the King blasts them away,
and Legislators won it. Louis the King did it. Ventura wins the Germany bet. Louis the King stays king.
Now won 5.3 million rand for a 50-odd thousand rand purchase.
A fairy tale story for the owners.
Hi and welcome to another edition of Current Affairs. We had 3 stakes races up on the half L, again in bottomless ground. Seems to be the flavour of the month. We had meetings of Mandan in America, Australia, KZN. So I don't know what it is. There's a lot of rain about, Jim.
Yeah, it might be, what was the last reason we had? A hole in the atmosphere or something.
Yeah,
it was why it was so hot. You
global
know?
raining.
It's just all that happens
global
is
warning,
that,
yeah.
you know, we're on a little minuscule planet on this whole universe or whatever. And,
Thank you, Carl Sagan.
What difference?
Thank you. Let's get onto the races we had. We started off with the Group 2, and that is the Colorado King Stakes. And just before we get on this, James, it was interesting to hear Michael Leaf talking about it. One of the good guys are racing. He won a race earlier in the day, and they interviewed him. They said to him, how fit is Wiley Hall after this break? And he explained the plans coming forward to the Vodacom July game. And he said his trainer assured him that the horse is 95% fit, and proved to be the case.
Well, I think the key with this horse is that he runs fresh.
Yes.
If you look, he came into the July after a break and he ran a race of his life.
Yes.
And he came into this race after a break and ran the race of his life as well. And Wyo's obviously done a wonderful job with him.
Yeah.
Bernard Fade Herb, cool as ever, because there was no pace on. But
Yeah.
He knew what he had underneath him.
Yeah, okay, let's go and have a look at it. Here's the Grade 2 Colorado, the Colorado King Stakes.
700 metres left to go. It's the Hangman on the lead. Henry Higgins is to the outside. Uraculon, black sleeves and red cap. Then came Tribal Dance. Wiley Hall makes a beeline for the outside rail. Kalua Castle, yellow sleeves and red cap is next. Kajiva directly behind him. Then came Tiger's Retreat and Earl of Derby. The Hangman is a length in front, 400 metres out. Wiley Hall moves up into second and he's now throwing his weight around. They followed by Kalua Castle. Henry Higgins is next. Kajiva's 2 off the inside. It's the Hangman, Grittingly holding on from Wiley Hall, who now picks up the lead. Wiley Hall goes for home and he looks good for victory. Henry Higgins second, Kajiva up the inside, but it's Wiley Hall. He's back. Wiley Hall wins the Colorado King Stakes. Second goes to Henry Higgins. Kajiva ran third, and then came the Hangman.
Sparkling comeback by Wiley Hall. He's the reduced choice, New Haven bred in Australia. Michael Leaf.
Interesting about him, he cost $185,000 at the Magic Millions sale.
No, he didn't. He cost 205.
Oh, 205, yeah. I'm thinking of the other horse we'll talk about later.
He cost
$205,000 at the Magic Millions.
Reduced choice, you're buying from the top draw, and this is a very good racehorse, James. I saw it when he debuted in Turpentine. He ran third behind his stablemate, and I thought, very good horse. But it's a wonderful comeback, James.
Yeah, I think he's certainly one of the big horses for the season to come.
Big horse.
Then we'll move on to the Senior Santa.
Yeah, let's go on to Senior Santa.
1,160 metres.
Yeah. Again, a race that everyone thought, well, Sean Terry has been in such rich vein of form. After last weekend, he backed it up with an Oaks trial and a Derby trial. And his horses are really flying. And one thought, well, this would continue with Willow Magic. A little slow at the gate, Willow Magic, but I don't know if he didn't handle the ground. He couldn't get a blow in, but it doesn't detract from a great performance by the winner.
Yeah, super to see the winner win for the team. They're good people, those guys.
Yeah. Chris Gaber's got a share there. It's Alec Laird, Chris Gaber, and of course Lawrence Werner.
Yeah, and I think he's quite a nice horse to see. He won well. Let's go and have a look.
Man's dream happy forever. Over towards the outside, Grease Paint and Dollar Dazzler. They fights out the lead over towards that side. Willow Magic's worked his way into contention now in the blue sleeves. Aurum Pot tracks him. Then came Approval Rating a long way back to Devarate. 400 metres left to go. Dollar Dazzler in the red sleeves. Then came Chikili Move Feed. After these ones, Aurum Pot. The stick is out on Willow Magic and he's finding zero response with 200 metres left to go. It's Move Feed now. Dollar Dazzler nearest us. Chikili's trying his utmost. Then came Aurum Pot, but the leader is Move Feed, but Dollar Dazzler on the outside finishes best of all. Dollar Dazzler in front, and he goes on to win the Senior Santa. Move Feed second, Grease Paint ran third again. Then came Aurum Pot and Chikili.
Yeah, well done to Alec Laird, and as I said, the owners. This horse has improved all the time. I think he's notched up about 3 in a row. He was very strongly fancied, and I remember his debut run was round a bend, and he got a little bit lost. Then he trotted up by a distance, and I thought, this horse has got potential. And now he's got a Group 2 in the bag.
Yeah, he's a VAR, bred by Klipdrift.
Yes.
Nice to see Benny get a group winner. And I think that he's quite a nice improving horse, and certainly seemed to have
a real nice galloper, this horse. Well, that was the Santronita. And let's go on to the last of our races there. This is the Grade 3 Sycamore Sprint. And this is for fillies and mares.
Then came Lamia and the yellow sheepskin noseband. Seventh Symphony is further back. Virgo's Babe is towards the outside. They followed by Rockaberry Lane, but it's Sav who pokes the nose in front. Drifting Dusk, Winter Passion, they right there. Lamia's running on towards the centre of the course. Then came Not Sulking. She's got 4 lengths to make up, and Virgo's Babe is running a huge race on the outside. Here's Virgo's Babe. She hits the front. Sigan is coming out the pack rather dangerously as well, and Sigan picks it up close home. Sigan goes past Virgo's Babe to win. Then came Bichette. Drifting Dusk was next.
Sigan, well, Pierre Striker Stratum for Borum Bortus. Well done to this. Comes with a rattle. Virgo's Babe's an honest horse too, James.
Yeah, she's been brilliant for the owners, and David Nivenez is a small trainer. But the winner's Batuwali, bred by Main Chance, funnily enough. Very interesting. And she was up there in the weights, you know. She's one of the better fillies around.
She's a good filly.
And Stratum, he makes a difference as well.
He makes a big difference. I thought Bichette ran a good race too for Sean Terry. And a couple of them fell out of the picture. I saw horses who were handy at the 200 getting beat 10 lengths because of the ground. But well done to everyone connected with Sigan, Pierre Stratum, Borum Bortus, and the gang. So it was a very good win for the Sycamore Sprint. Well, those were our 3 features that we stakes races we had over the weekend. But James, with the build-up coming now to what looks like Michael de Kock going for the Kentucky Derby, it looks very interesting. And you've dug up some stats of horses it's going to have to lock horns with.
Yeah, the big weekend of racing as far as Derby preps are concerned. And you start with the Santa Anita Derby, which is a big Derby trial, and it was won by a horse called Dortmund for Bob Baffert. He ran first and second.
Signs of the sire, this doing the same as what the sire did?
Yeah, absolutely.
Big Brown?
Yeah, Big Brown 2008 winner.
Yeah.
And this absolutely doddled in, 6 from 6. He's very, very good.
Oh, that's very good. We might even have a photo.
We've got a photo.
But we've got a photo, I believe.
Okay. We've got a photo of something. Okay.
Yeah, we will have a look. We've got something to look at. But Mubtahij is Michael's horse who's really sort of set the bar. Now Dortmund's got to be a master runner, but there were a couple more.
Yeah, Carpe Diem won the Bluegrass Stakes at Keeneland. So they have all these races leading up to the Kentucky Derby.
It's a point system.
Yeah, but this horse of Michael de Kock's has now earned qualification by winning the UAE Derby. It qualifies.
Yes. Okay.
And so the Mubtahij he's in the top 5 in the betting. In fact, they said that he might even end up favourite, Mubtahij. But Carpe Diem, Giant's Causeway, this is Pletcher's runner for the Derby, okay? So this looks like a good one too. But then you go and see Frosted won the Ramson Stakes.
Yeah, the Joey Ramson Stakes.
Yeah, they've named a race after him. He's very famous in America, Joey Ramson.
This is about Tappet, good stallion.
Tappet, Godolphin, Kieran McLaughlin. So,
okay.
You know, that looks like their show. But that was well beaten by Upstart in the Holy Bull Stakes a couple of weeks ago.
Is Holy Bull, isn't it for 3-4-year-olds? It's for old horses.
Upstart's also a Derby contender. He's always getting ready for the Derby as well.
Yeah.
Then, you know, it just looks like these are the main contenders. They all fell into line.
So we're going to try and keep people posted on what the log looks like, because if Michael can get there, and let's hope he does, it'll be great for a South African trainer to tackle this race.
Well, I was hoping we were going to chat to him today, but I think he's on his way to Australia for the big sale there. So, you know, talking about Australia, their race meeting was cancelled. The Champions Day was cancelled from Saturday and put today, Randwick. And they've had a couple of races already, so we got a couple of results. And prior to Dubai, he won the English Stakes, which is a big...
That's right, he was the winner of the Blue Diamond.
Yeah, and China Horse Club and Coolmore bought a share in him.
Okay.
Now, the latest news is that they've also bought a share in Vancouver. Okay.
Now, he was a Magic Millions graduate.
Absolutely. He's the one I was thinking of, 185,000 Rand Magic Millions horse, Vancouver.
James, will they lock horns, Vancouver and Pride of Dubai? They're two superstars.
I'm not so sure that they'll, I think that...
Because I know Gay Waterhouse has backed off going for the sires with Vancouver.
Yeah,
and
she's giving him a spell and bringing him back for the big races next year, the Cox Plate.
Yeah, and all those. So, very good horses.
Do you know they value this horse Vancouver at? 40 million Australian dollars.
Wow.
And as I say, Coolmore bought a share in him so that he stands at Coolmore. Now they've very involved with the China Horse Club, and these seem to be the new players.
Yeah, they're the new players on the block. Let's get involved in them. That's where the big money is going to be, James.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't got anything else.
I don't know. I believe there's a photograph Raymond's got. He was sent down.
Raymond's in his photographs. You know, it can only be...
let's try and zoom in a bit. Now, you're over in Dubai.
Can't zoom in.
You were over in Dubai. And
those are two very famous Arab sheikhs, I'm telling you.
I
remember taking this picture. Those guys are famous. Everyone said they were cameramen, and you can see left and right, the cameramen, all looking to take a picture of these guys. I think that we'll probably have them on a clip later on because we're going to be talking about Dubai. But those guys, you can see they're well-to-do guys. They've both got big stomachs on them. They're both healthy. They got the right gear. It's right. We're going to go and have a look at your call where we're going to see a little more about what happened in Dubai. So that should be quite fun for those of you that don't know much about what goes on there.
Happy Archer now, Anton Marcos pulls the trigger, and Happy Archer, silent calls come from nowhere. Happy Archer the last 100 and silent call. Happy Archer moving like the wind.
Well, what happened? We went to the World Cup, and I've never been to the World Cup, and I took my very, very good cameraman along with me. So we took a whole lot of clips, okay?
Yeah.
And you know, Maidan organised us.
You sound like a car on a cold morning. Do you want to start again, James? Tell us about the clips before you get a clip from me.
I've been hunting for Easter eggs all day today. It's been really, really... We took a whole lot of clips.
Yes. Gee, James, where did you find these Easter eggs?
It's a very difficult.
Let's start again. You got these clips of Dubai World Cup week.
A whole week leading through the Dubai World Cup.
Yes.
Okay. And we got press passes, which was fantastic. Yes. So we are able to get close to the action. We got all the action with this Let's Go Travel group.
Okay.
And we thought, what we'll do is we'll do a whole resume of what you can do in Dubai and why you should go on this trip. If you haven't been on this trip, you've been many times.
Yes.
For me, it was an eye-opener. I've never seen anything like it. Let's go and have a look at the first clip where we arrive at the hotel and immediately into the drinks.
Oh, this would be the upstairs bar?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a Somerset bar. Yeah, oh, good to see the people. There's Jill. And so you guys all met there?
Well, that's where
for lunch.
It started, and it never stopped there. That was Tuesday. You can see there's the
arrivals game.
The Turkish Rebel. And then Wednesday we end up going to the desert to go on a desert dunes ride. There's a couple.
Who's there with you, James?
That's
Andre
Molinari. Yeah, Andre Hopeflesh.
And
his son Ian. Okay.
Oh, lovely.
Now we all got in these cars and went riding around the dunes, which was unbelievable fun. And they let you go flat out.
Were you allowed to drive?
That's us driving.
Fantastic.
You know? And it's great fun. You go flat out around these dunes, driving these cars.
Do they give you a route to go on, or?
No, you just go. It's like chaos. I'm telling you. There's guys riding
like
single
Max Part 4.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this lot. It's Peric Magine. That's some pretty girl. I don't know.
That looks like a pretty girl, yeah. She's loving it.
Yeah, having a beautiful time driving these cars flat out. And we drive around the desert. And there's some on a what's name. This is us upside down. We did go the wrong way round. And it's just fun. 20 minutes, you pay your couple of hundred.
Oh, here are the dunes now. You can see the dunes.
And then we go on this dune drive where we're all in a Toyota Land Cruiser.
Gee, look at those two.
And this driver is unbelievable. He takes you up the side of the dune and comes down head first. I don't know.
This is when you're going to the soiree.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that's before you get to dinner. But this is Wednesday's activity. Look at this. You want to come down this thing. Jeez, this guy can give you a heart attack.
And these cars are full of people going for it.
So 7 of us in a car and the driver.
Like a taxi here.
Toyota Land Cruiser. I tell you, this is incredible fun. And he drives us to the dinner place where you're going to have dinner, which is absolutely amazing.
Any of them roll? Any of them roll? No.
No, but they're fantastic drivers. He said to us, "Did we want to go on the casual course or did we go on the extreme course?" Well, we went on the extreme course because we had Peric Majan in there. He needs a bit of excitement.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we ended up parking and having a look down over the desert. A couple of them puked in the sand.
That's fantastic.
But you can see.
Are those all the vehicles?
Jan and Andre Harflish, they were there in the vehicle next door to us, and then there was the other guys were in the vehicle with us, and then from there we go to this Lapa in the middle of the desert, which is where they have the Arabian Nights.
Right,
They have
belly dancing and carpets and great food, drink.
Lovely food, and then camel riding and some skateboarding. Down. Yeah, you come down the thing. I was very good at that.
Okay,
I was
let's have a look.
very good at that. We're going to see what happens now.
Okay, here you're in this area here.
You've been in this thing.
Yeah, I've been in this area. That's right. I see Gaji there.
A couple of people enjoying themselves. There's a bearded fellow at the back. Here we are. Here he comes down the thing.
Who's that guy?
That's Ian Harflick. Check this out. Yeah,
you can see you guys never surfed. You never surfed. This looks like ZZ Top.
That's Harflick. That's Andre's son.
Gee.
And then Andre, we put Andre on a camel. We thought rather than via Africa, we put him on a camel. And
who dressed Andre Harflick? Walt Disney.
No, he's a Shark supporter.
Oh no, here the two.
Oh, he was.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. This is
fantastic.
These guys. These two sheikhs, they're very, very important people, obviously.
There they go in their rides.
And then the Thursday morning, you kick off with breakfast at the Stars. Now you get back on Wednesday night, have a bit of a sleep, get to the breakfast with the Stars, and
they put on beautiful food, don't they?
Absolutely. Well, your experiences.
Oh yeah, I know this well, and it's good to touch base with the international friends here.
Well, you end up finding all types of people. I found Tony Millard and Bev. They wandered up, and then there was all the jockeys of Frankie and Frankie Dettori and. Well, Christoph wasn't here, interestingly enough. Christoph Simeon was walking in the Alps to get off 2 kilos so he could ride 55. He went walking for 2 days in the Alps.
Okay.
He then, on the Saturday morning, walked from Dubai to Maidan Racecourse in a sweat clothes to get off extra weight. And Trevor Brown had to collect him at the road. He'd walked 10 kilometers.
Battles with his weight,
Battles, 55's light for him, but it just shows the professionalism of the man. He came out and rode like an absolute champ on
He's a wonderful guy.
Oh, lovely
He's
guy.
a really, really
One
nice
of them,
guy.
I mean, of all the jockeys I've ever met, one of the nicest jockeys I've ever met. He's just a fantastic
I agree
guy.
with you.
And generous to a fault. He's just
He's
fantastic.
very generous. Every year I've been with him, he just pays for everything, and he's great fun. So that was the Thursday morning.
Well, that's Thursday morning, and then from there you go on a tour to Zabeel Stables, and we'll have a couple of pics here. This is Zabeel Stables, which is Satish Seema.
Yeah, Satish. Yeah, I know Satish.
He's a great friend of ours. I think that the first
He's
winner.
been out there.
Yeah, the first winner ever trained in Dubai was by Satish, South African winner for Mike Rattray.
Yes. And I've been to these stables a few times, James. The swimming pool is out of this world. And they get the horses to swim along. They always show you that. And the wash bays, the lawns, and right in the middle of the city, James.
It's just incredible. There you can see the city around there. They're bringing horses, they give them a wash. Beautiful barns. We caught up with a couple of guys. That guy, you know that guy.
Yeah, that's Zon Thompson.
That's your
my apprentice.
Yeah.
Lovely man. There's Budgie, the football pundit.
Yeah.
Nice to see Budgie. I see Zon's grown a Lafferty, eh?
No, he said that he wanted to look like, he always when he grew up wanted to be like
well, he's doing a great job, eh?
Oh, he's doing a great job.
Great job. This is the Diamond Man.
Anthony Peter.
Yeah, there they go. So it was wonderful to get the whole gang out there.
Well,
they're again beautifully
then we
dressed.
had a look inside the
Hope
barn.
Fleshes. Yes, they take you in the barn and it's spotless. And is Grant the cameraman? Is it Grant?
Yeah, there's a little grey Arab,
yes.
naughtiest little bugger you've ever seen. Jesus,
yeah.
naughty. All
You're
wanted
giving
to
a
do
smell of
was
tobacco
play
there, James. To smell a cigar in your hand.
Yeah, wanted to smoke.
Yeah,
it was an impossible little bugger.
Yeah, very nice, eh? But what are those stables? Fantastic, eh, James?
Beautiful stables. And then there's not only thoroughbreds in there, we ended up finding a quarter horse that was 28 years old.
Where was the other 3/4?
No, the 3/4 is still in the grave because he's 28 years old, this poor
Oh, gee.
28 years old, and they keep him there. But beautiful place. This is the quarter horse.
Did they show you the mechanical horse?
He was about to fall over, but the mechanical horse, they showed us.
Then they give you a chance to ride it. They're very good, yeah. Gary Westwater rode it when I was there.
Was he any good?
Fantastic, great balance.
I think that I was better than Gary Westwater.
Well, you're also a very talented rider, but he's slightly lighter than you.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's slightly lighter than you.
That's in his favour. This is the 28-year-old. I couldn't believe it. To find, you know, people say that the Dubai guys and horses, this and that, they look after their horses beautifully. And then we had a chat here with Satish. He came out and had a chat to the guys, gave us all a drink.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic to just be
he's
part of it.
He's always very hospitable.
He's such a nice man, you know, and he really likes the South Africans, and I think that he was very good to Herman Brown. I think
yes, they're good mates. He's a mate of mine. I always make a point of seeing him and chatting to him. He's a good guy. But then you moved on.
Then the afternoon we go to the Cox stables, Mike's to go and have a look at all the horses, the World Cup runners. Well, I just took a picture of Mike's horses and what's going on in the stables there and that. But we're all sitting there having a drink, and you know, guys are having a
Is that our international correspondent?
Yeah, there's the teams there now. You've got all the right people, and
very nice.
It is just
so nothing's changed. And then Michael's office is in behind those white walls.
Yeah.
And they put on the drinks for you, and it's very nice. And
Trevor Brown,
what a gentleman! What a gentleman!
Declan, you know.
Well, Declan the farrier, he would have been there. Was Herbert there?
Herbert was there. What a question. Pippa,
there was John Pippa,
Costa, Annabelle Andrews.
Annabelle, and there's.
It was a tremendous spun, great spun, you know.
Yeah. And I believe he showed you all the horses.
All the horses came out and showed us the World Cup horses, and then we go from there to this dinner up on the top of the race course.
Unbelievable.
You went last year.
Absolutely.
I think it was the first year last year.
Yeah. It is just the most beautiful place. There we are. You're upstairs, and there is the racetrack underneath you in the foreground. That's where you would have had them practicing for their show, Kylie Minogue.
Exactly. You'll hear Kylie Minogue comes and interferes with Michael employed an Irish folk singer, okay, who played 3 songs and then got overtaken by Kylie Minogue. He was very upset. He said he wishes he could get someone down there to stop Kylie Minogue making such a racket.
Her rehearsals.
But we had a beautiful place to eat. You look over this whole race course. It's totally exclusive to Mike de Kock and Let's Go Travel team. No one else gets in there, and it was a tremendous team of people. With just such fun. Grant Knowles.
There's Knowlesy, Knowlesy, Knowlesy.
He ended up being in charge of...
I remember last year we had the same place up there, and we did interviews up there. I remember Roy Moodley doing interviews. Can you believe it? Roy Moodley said he could do interviews.
He says that he wants to work for CNN, Roy.
Well, he could. He could. And he was having fun at CNN. But I remember, James, you didn't play golf. I played golf in this afternoon, the day before, with Michael de Kock, Ron Samuels, and Ivan Snyman, my year. And then afterwards, as we got back, what's her name? J-Lo was practicing. We watched J-Lo practice and rehearse from 10 meters away.
Yeah.
Must have been the same with Kylie.
Absolutely, absolutely. Kylie was there having a full go. As you can see, it was a tremendous team of people that we had there.
It's a gang of people there.
And they're all great supporters, you know.
All supporting Michael in South Africa, and there's Adrian van Vuren and Reuker. They're there. They had Parlon.
They had all
their children. Yeah, they had their family there.
And then, obviously, the pudding. I couldn't keep the camera off the pudding.
No, you haven't got a sweet tooth. You're very lucky.
No.
You've got 37 of them.
Jeez, yeah.
Sure, look at that. Hey, that is really nice, James.
And this is all put on by Mike and Mali Al-Basti.
Yes,
they put it on for the South African team. Mike's
Tubbs Riddell.
Tubbs was there.
What
Tubbs
a great man.
Fine form,
nice to see Tubbs leaning over to grab something to eat.
No, he wasn't short of something to
eat. GK, Terry Riley. Terry Riley's had a nice military haircut.
And Terry's partners.
Good boys. The whole gang with this, Pierre Morjean.
Mr.
Roland Bauer.
Gudge was there, Roland.
Gudgie was there, yeah, so it was wonderful. And everyone got up there with Michael. And I see Mr. Phil in the background. There's Secretariat. And James, this goes on for a good few hours, doesn't it?
All night. Yeah, end up they all went to the Cube afterwards, which is the nightclub
it's
down
fantastic.
At the bottom.
Down there, been to Cube,
Yeah, I went home. I said, geez, I've got a big day on Friday. And
Terry's going for the extra ribs.
Yeah, well, he just said that he'd been a bit hungry.
Yeah, 15 more ribs. Time out, he said. Time out.
And it was just a great atmosphere and
great camaraderie. You know, you're all going there to support the South African horses, and then we come to the Friday, James. And Friday always is the brunch with meals from every country, and from the brunch to the beach. Is that still the order of the day?
Absolutely. You eat flat out. Yes. All from lunchtime onwards, and then you go to the Barasti Bar.
Now this is where I know invariably you meet up with the Coolmore gang. Yeah. They get down there, and Mark Johnson comes over.
Well, you'll see Mark Johnson was here.
Yeah, Mark Johnson always comes down.
Frankie came and joined us. You'll see Frankie.
There's Michael Aboud.
Michael Aboud.
Frankie gets down there, yeah.
And the Christoph Simeon.
There's
he wasn't
Mr. George
because he's.
Oh, there's Michael. There's
Michael. There's Frankie.
You had and I know Mark Johnson always comes down there for a couple of drinks.
Yeah, and you know the other guy is Duncan Moyer. There between the two.
In the middle,
you know Duncan Moyer is.
No.
Duncan Moyer is a vet that treated Tree for cricket.
Oh yes.
He works for
He works for McVeigh and them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's Budgie. We saw Budgie. Oh, this is fantastic. And there's Herbert.
Yeah.
Herbert's here as well. So. James, it was wonderful. And as I say, Mark Johnson.
Raj from Maritzburg.
He's, the Maritzburg boys.
He was Watkinson's owner for many, many years.
That's right. That's right. You know. So everyone gets down there, James. This is the Friday night.
Well, this is before it gets dark.
Yeah.
Thank God we did the filming now, because when it gets dark,
the game's on.
There's a party.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous. And then we go to the race day.
Isn't that fantastic, the venue you race from? It's just, and you're right there, and you've got all the racing people from the jockeys. You could touch the jockeys.
Yeah. Well, that's the winner's enclosure, and that's before the races, because they have each trophy on
display
on display around the winner's enclosure there. So that's where we stood. You can see how close we stood to the winner's enclosure.
Yeah.
You know, that was our enclosure looking at the winner's enclosure.
Fantastic.
And
it's just outstanding, isn't it, James?
Fantastic days racing.
And then it's people from all over the world who come out there. So, and James, the big day is always a great day, and obviously culminating in Mark winning that derby by a distance.
Well, you know, you look at the first runner that they had he had Al Moncrief and Star Empire in the staying race, and Mushrik was the pacemaker.
Yes.
And they wanted to run Big Brown into the ground, you know, make him Brown Panther.
Brown Panther, yeah.
Run him into the ground. So Mushrik went out and made a hell of a pace. They were running mile fractions in a 2-mile race.
Yeah.
Brown Panther sat on his girth and just absolutely murdered him. The horse that Mike fancied, Al Moncrief, he didn't get it. The best of passengers had to come round them. But Star Empire.
Every year he picks up big money. Owning him must be a pleasure.
What a lovely horse.
What a lovely horse. He really is a lovely horse.
And it's a testament to Dennis Dry. But let's go and have a look at what we got. Magic Millions, we're coming up for them.
Yeah. Here, look at this. Look at these winners. Henry of York, Amber Orchid, Mela Maria, Choir Maiden and Roy's Donkey. All successful Magic Millions graduates in the last week. They certainly are firing, James.
Well, if you want to go to the Magic Millions, you've got to start getting busy now, because there's 6 weeks to Magic Millions.
Yes.
And it starts on the 22nd, I think, of May this year.
Yeah, it goes weanlings, broodmares, and then yearlings. But what they're doing this year, there's a huge dispersal again over the same time, and quality stock coming up under the hammer. So it's now they've added to the sale. It's a massive sale now.
Yeah, it's about 10 days of sales.
Yes,
and it's just
correct.
Absolutely amazing. All right, let's go and have a look at Dubai. This is at the end of the race evening. They have a fireworks display, which took half an hour. I felt really sorry for the horses on course, and I felt sorry for the buck, which had all congregated there.
Yeah,
they'd hit this celebrating
20
years, and it's just absolutely amazing, you know.
Does your cameraman drink?
Well, by this time of the night, you told me which cameraman was sober at this time of the evening.
That's true.
You know, there's no possible way.
Gee, look at the lasers, lights, and I hope you didn't film at all.
Yeah, it's half an hour.
Oh yeah, well, we can come back. Let's go for tea while James gets the fireworks up.
I enjoyed the fireworks, but I did feel really sorry for the horses that are not more than 200, 300 meters away. You know, it's got to affect them, and it can't be good for them to have. And these bangs were absolutely amazing. Johnny Girodas was telling me that there was a cannon. He says that would have won World War II at the 600-meter mark on the inside of the track that was shooting these rockets. He says it was the biggest cannon he's ever seen. He said he used to be a bit nervous riding past it every morning. So.
Yeah, they've got some beautiful fanfare about their whole race day, you know. And then James, too, the culmination of the whole trip for me is the boat cruise. I've always been big on the boat cruise. It's everyone gets together, you celebrate or you commiserate, you have fun, you drink, you dance, you eat well, and it ends the week.
Yeah, you get on the boat at about 4 o'clock. You could take your own booze.
Is it still called Igugu or something?
Yeah, Gugu.
Oh, Gugu. Okay.
Yeah, Gugu's the boat. This is the boat. It's flat with
same
a little
boat.
upstairs section. But it's
boat,
very comfortable, and
big
everyone
dance
parks
floor.
around. There's Herbert Mulholland having a lovely time, and there's
DJ Knowles, was he there?
Yeah, DJ Knowles took over. He played the DJ. There's a couple of good-looking boys.
I see you next to GK. He's getting over those ribs. He's still digesting those ribs from the roof.
And you pull out, and then you just cruise off on this table-like water.
That's right.
There's no, and I get seasick if there's in my bath if there's a bit of a ripple.
If your duck,
if my rubber duck starts playing up in the bath, I get seasick. So, you know, this was a bit nerve-wracking for me.
Now the sun's starting to go down.
Yeah.
And Tubbs Riddell's looking comfortable there.
he didn't. Tubbs got very
they're
comfortable.
all, and here, this is upstairs, eh?
Upstairs, yeah.
And
this
now
is upstairs.
is that Johnny G?
Johnny G.
Oh yeah, Johnny. Fantastic man, Johnny G. Really nice guy.
He really is a great guy.
He is just one of the good guys, Johnny G. And is that Toddy?
Toddy came properly dressed for this. He wore a suit on the boat cruise. You've got to be properly dressed.
A man of class. He's there on business.
Man in his position, you've got to come in a suit. Yeah,
that's right.
Ron Knowles, on the other hand, was probably underdressed.
DJ Knowles. Now it's night time, and everyone's had supper, you're having this great trip, and you're cruising, going right down the creek and having a look. It's fantastic to see the architecture and what they've done with this city.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and there's an abundance of camaraderie and fun and great food, and you just sit, and it's what a way to relax and wind down after a trip like this.
Yeah, and some of the people went out and ate afterwards. I mean, I'd all not to the...
Yeah, some of the people wanted to go back on the cruise. Apparently, that's the long suit of Mike de Cox, going back on, paying the guy to go back out there.
Yeah, pays him.
I think his back's been playing up, so
you haven't been able to play golf, has he?
Yeah, it hasn't been good. So, you know, he's working extremely hard and making it harder for himself by going to Kentucky.
Yeah,
that's going to be something else to go to the Kentucky Derby.
He's got a lot on his plate. You know, he's got this, as you say, he's got the big Easter sale. And he's got that situation where he's got to keep moving, looking for new horses, and he's got to plan his races here. He's got to plan his races for overseas and his races for the UK.
Yeah,
he's got a lot on his plate, and he's doing
yet
well.
Again, he sort of held the flag up high. They won a race on World Cup night, one on Super Saturday, won 10 races over the season, second leading trainer at the carnival. You know, just with the string that he's got, just fantastic. So,
fantastic. And what's news coming through? The rain's still persisting in the province?
Yeah, it's still raining and there's no racing at Scottsville tomorrow. It is abandoned.
It's been abandoned, eh?
Just talking about these overseas trips, Phil Giorgio tells me that he's putting together a trip for the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, a lot of people want to go. Michael's got clients who want to get out there, and it's fantastic going out to
First
Kentucky.
week in May. I think it's the first Saturday in May, might be the 1st of May, the Kentucky Derby. 2nd of May, Kentucky Derby. If you'd like to go and see South Africa represented there, get hold of Phil Giorgio, let's go travel. They're the guys that can put it together from you. From La Famille, we've had a great show.
Great show.
We hope that racing carries on somewhere else in the province, and maybe we should have gone to the poly track tomorrow, who knows, but we hope you have a good week's racing.